Moldovan authorities say that Israeli-born Kremlin stooge, Ilan Shor, channeled $24 million to pay off voters in the EU referendum of October 20th, according to Reuters. The fugitive Shor has been hiding in Israel further to his conviction for an audacious fraud in 2014, which netted him $1 billion. The court found him guilty of scamming Moldovan banks for loans that would not be repaid. The theft resulted in a total loss equivalent to 12% of Moldova's GDP. Shor was born in Tel Aviv, Israel in March 1987, but his family returned to Moldova in the 1990s. His father, Ilan Shor, was a businessman with interests in duty-free and travel retail. When his father died in 2005, the 18-year-old Shor took over the family business Shor Holding and expanded its reach, buying TV stations, an insurance company, and the Moldovan soccer team FC Milsami Orhei. Shor was president of Banca de Economie, one of 3 banks involved in the so-called theft of the century. He was also head of Duframol, Moldova's largest seller of duty-free goods. While under house arrest pending an appeal in 2019, he fled to Israel. According to Moldovan media, he now lives in Russia and obtained Russian citizenship in 2024. Linked to the fraud, former Prime Minister Vlad Filat was found guilty of accepting bribes. Filat was stripped of his immunity and handcuffed in Parliament on October 15, 2015, then charged with accepting bribes of $250 million from Ilan Shor, who was chairman of the board at Savings Bank in 2014. On June 27, 2016, Vlad Filat was sentenced to 9 years in prison. In February 2019, Filat's son was ordered to pay nearly £500,000 after an investigation by the UK National Crime Agency found that he had paid £390,000 up front for a lavish apartment in the Knightsbridge area of London and £200,000 for a Bentley Bentayga. With no registered income in the UK, 3 bank accounts belonging to his son were frozen under Criminal Finances Act. In June 2017, Shor was sentenced to 7.5 years of prison in absentia for fraud and money laundering. He appealed the sentence, which was subsequently increased to 15 years. All of Shor's Moldovan assets were also frozen. The chief of the country's police, Viral Kernautianu, said at a briefing recently that Shor used Russia's Promsvyazbank for money transfers and bribes. Moldovan officials have accused 37-year-old Israeli-born billionaire and convicted fraudster Ilan Shor of playing a leading role in Russian-backed interference aimed at influencing the Moldovan elections and derailing the country's course to EU membership. Moldovan President Maia Sandu said Sunday's referendum was marred by unprecedented outside interference, with clear evidence that foreign forces hostile to our national interests had aimed to buy off 300,000 votes. According to Nova News, the company Elvrația has financed 300 young people to travel abroad from Moldova since June to train in carrying out mass riots. The training program included tactics to challenge law enforcement, the use of weapons and objects to cause non-lethal injuries, said the director of Moldova's intelligence agency. They were also trained in making and using improved explosive devices and handling drones with special explosive or incendiary attachments. A video played by police showed material seized during recent searches, including clips of people practicing with drones and incendiary devices in a forested location. Aside from the Bosnian and Serbian training camps, a larger group of Moldovan activists were taught protest tactics in Russia, police said. Their travel to a suburb of Moscow was allegedly financed again by fugitive Moldovan oligarch Ilan Shor through the non-profit organization called Evrazia. Shor, despite facing a prison sentence, has been waging a fierce political campaign from exile in Russia. Socialist Party candidate Alexander Stoyanoglu is considered to be backed by the Kremlin due to his party's popularity with ethnic Russians in Moldova, has agreed to hold a public election debate on October 27th ahead of the November 3rd presidential runoff. There have been further warnings of continued Russian interference, though. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken has been supportive of Moldova and said that Russia did everything in its power to disrupt the election and referendum to undermine Moldova's democracy, including through illicit financing and vote buying, disinformation, and malicious cyber activities. Thanks for watching. Further news of the Moldovan election will be added as it arises. Please like and subscribe if you can. Bye for now.